deputy making his first arrest goes off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect handcuffed in the back.
Why didn't you say her name?
It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the back seat. Yeah, that's typical, right?
Can you even imagine as the water's filling up in the car and her arms are torture cuffed behind her back and how hard she was pulling her wrists to try to get her wrists out, to try to get out of the cage in the back of the car? Could you even imagine what Tabitha Smith was going through? Her wrists are probably gouged open because when the water's filling up to here and you know you're gonna die, you're fighting with everything you got to get yourself out of those torture cuffs. This video is going to make you sick to your stomach.
A terrifying and sad story out of Tennessee. A deputy making his first arrest goes off the road.
Listen to this again. Listen to what he said. Do me a favor, everybody. Hit the like button and then put in the comment section, OTVO, Overturn Terry versus Ohio.
A terrifying and sad story.
Take a look at the beta male, just a beta male chumpzilla
of Tennessee. A deputy making his first arrest.
A deputy making his first arrest. As though that's something we should celebrate. As though we should celebrate his first arrest. Put it in the comment section. OTVO, hit the like button.
Goes off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect handcuffed.
There's the suspect. Killing himself and the suspect. Did you hear it? Don't skip over the subliminal messaging. Don't skip over how you are a subject. Listen to the damn messaging that Law&Crime says.
A terrifying and sad story
Sad
out of
story.
Tennessee.
Sad
a deputy
story.
making his first arrest.
A deputy making his first
goes
arrest.
off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect.
Himself and the suspect. What a piece of shit organization you are over there at Law&Crime. What's her name? Why didn't you say her name? Killing himself and the suspect? Why didn't you say her name? How come you didn't say her name? Just has me incensed.
Handcuffed in the back. We're taking a
She was
closer
handcuffed
look at
in the back.
circumstances
She was handcuffed in the back when he went into the river. In other words, she died knowing the car was filling up with water. The car was filling with water. And take a look at this pencil neck beta male chumpzilla. Put it in the comment section for me. Chumpzilla.
who the victims were with Brookford, North Carolina Police Chief Will Armstrong. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime.
And look at who the victims are with the chief of police, not the girl's mother, the suspect. We don't know her name yet because they're just looking at the victims of the suspect and the deputy who made his first arrest, celebrating him as though, look at him. Look at him. Can you imagine the bitch he was in real life?
I'm Jesse Weber.
Yeah, Jesse Weber, you're a piece of shit. You're reporting just now on how the suspect in the crash. What's her name, Jesse Weber? You are such a bitch, bro.
We have this 35-year-old rookie cop. He just achieved his dream of becoming a police officer.
Stop right there. He just achieved his dream of becoming a pig. Hey, if you're watching this and your dream's to become a pig, you're a piece of shit. You're watching what I show every day and you would dream of becoming a pig, as though being a pig in America today is such a noble and good profession. The only thing you can do is take orders and hurt people. That's all you can do. Are you willing to put people in torture cuffs? Yes. Are you willing to listen to them cry and say they're too tight? Yes. Are you willing to drag them down to a dungeon? Yes. Are you willing to say stupid shit like, I have a right to go home safe to my family after you drop someone off of a dungeon? Yes. Are you willing to fist bump with other pigs and say, whatever it takes for you to go home safe at the end of your shift? Yes. Are you willing to lie, cheat, steal, cover up, write false reports, say you didn't see what happened? Are you willing to make sure that you cover the thin blue line for your other pigs? Yes. And it's your dream to become a pig. Literally, I'm the first one to say it. I hate you pigs. You guys make me sick. I want to vomit every time I see a pig. When I pass a pig in the street, I make sure I give them the bird, hoping they'll come up to me so I can just lambaste their ass.
A terrifying and sad story out of Tennessee. A deputy making his first arrest goes off the road straight into a river, killing himself and the suspect handcuffed.
Not her name. Not her name.
We're taking a closer look at the circumstances and who the victims were with
Beta
Brookford,
male.
North Carolina Police Chief Will Armstrong.
Dissecting it with another pig who's been a pig long enough to be a pig chief.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Yeah, you're Jesse. You're Jesse who calls a woman who got murdered.
Such a sad development.
Right, for the woman.
Tennessee. We have this 35-year-old rookie cop. He just achieved his dream of
Celebrating a dream of being a pig.
becoming a police officer, and now he was found dead near his patrol car in the
He's found dead near his patrol car.
Tennessee River in the Birchwood area just after making his first arrest.
So he celebrated his first arrest. How did he do it?
And this is not even the only sad part about this case. The suspect.
What's her name, you prick? Jesse, what's her name? Why are you calling her the suspect? What's her name? Because it's a way for you to consider her bad and the pig good. She was the good person. That pig was a piece of shit, who I hope is burning in hell. I really do.
Robert RJ Leonard.
Robert Leonard had no other skills, couldn't do anything else. A complete inept beta male bitch. So he didn't take a job. He got the only position he could get making real money.
A father of 5, had graduated from the academy in December. He took a position with the Meigs County Sheriff's Office as a deputy. But now you fast forward to February 14th, Valentine's Day, and Leonard's wife posted photos to Facebook to celebrate the holiday, but hours later, her husband would be missing. This after he had just sent her a text saying he made his first arrest.
I made my first arrest. And the pig-sucking channel, Law&Crime, the reporter there, Jesse, never says the woman's name who died in torture cuffs in a cage.
Here's Attorney General Russell Johnson explaining how before he disappeared, Leonard responded to a scene to make that first arrest and how he ultimately didn't check in.
What we know is that he arrived on the scene at 9:48 p.m. on Wednesday evening, and he indicated that he was on scene. 3 minutes later at 9:51, and he indicated 10:15 that he was en route with a subject back to the Meigs County Jail.
That's the third time they've called a human being a subject or a suspect. They never mention her name. Why? Because it's a way for you to dehumanize your fellow American.
I'm learning this is his first arrest. His wife texted back and said, "That's good," or "That's great."
That's good, or that's great, honey. You got to torture cuff someone and drug him to a dungeon. So proud of you, baby.
Once again to hear on Sidebar, Will Armstrong, Brookford Police Chief in North Carolina.
Oh, look how Jesse celebrates. Watch his mannerisms.
Before we go any further, let me bring in, once again to hear on Sidebar, Will Armstrong, Brookford Police Chief in North Carolina. Will, so great to have you back on here.
So
thanks for taking the time.
great to have you back on.
That's
Anytime an officer usually is on any kind of scene, especially in my area, they're going to get a status check.
He ain't black, folks. You know the Joe Biden line? If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Okay, let me go a little further than Joe Biden. He's not black. He's blue. If you're not on Team Blue, they don't care about you. The only way he's black is if he's in sweats and a t-shirt, and the other pigs don't recognize that he's a blue pig too.
authorities were able to track Leonard down by the river, and then these search teams, they end up finding his patrol car submerged in the water at the end of this old ferry ramp. Our understanding, it had been used in the last few decades by locals as a place to put boats into the Tennessee River. And the person that Deputy Leonard arrested, identified as mother of 2 Tabitha Smith.
Oh, you finally recognize her as a person, Jesse? You started off by calling her a subject and a suspect. Let's put her name in the chat because she deserves to be recognized by being murdered by pigs.
And the person that Deputy Leonard arrested, identified as mother of 2 Tabitha Smith.
Tabitha Smith, put her name in the chat.
Reports indicate that she was covered in mud when she was found in the water. Her family says that
Look at her.
she had been battling drug addiction, but was trying to turn her life around. It's unclear exactly why she was taken into custody. Will, we talk about the death of Leonard, which we'll get into in a little bit more, but what happened to her? That is so sad. Thinking about her death, how terrifying that must have been for her.
Can you even imagine as the water's filling up in the car and her arms are torture cuffed behind her back and how hard she was pulling her wrists to try to get out of the cage in the back of the car? What Tabitha Smith was going through, she probably ground her wrists to blood. She probably has gouges. If we saw her body, her wrists are probably gouged open because when the water's filling up to here and you know you're gonna die, you're fighting with everything you got to get yourself out of those torture cuffs. Could you imagine her last few moments? These are the good guys who put you in here. They're going to help you with your drug addiction. That's what we're doing here. We're here to help you out. What a sick system we've created.
Real quick about that. It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the back seat. You know,
there it is. The justification for murder. The justification. Did you hear the state-run media operative named Jesse? Did you hear what he just said? he's gonna validate that you belong being torture cuffed in the back of a torture mobile.
We're assuming based on the circumstances here about what might have happened.
And now, real quick, let's justify that the pig was justified in torture cuffing her, sticking her in the back of a torture mobile, and driving her into the river.
Think about that. It was proper protocol here for her to be handcuffed in the back seat. Yeah, that's typical, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most agencies have a policy in place that if you're going to be transported in any police
vehicle,
they want you to be handcuffed.
They want you to be handcuffed.
In that case, without being handcuffed, just because it's for an officer safety standpoint.
An officer safety standpoint, if you are not torture cuffed in the back of the torture mobile, well, then officers don't feel safe. Don't call them officers. JBTP, jackboot thug pigs. The entire officer safety mantra comes from the 1968 case called Terry versus Ohio.
He graduated just out of the academy and had got his training. We put him on a night shift, and he was doing a pretty good job.
He was doing the tyrannical despotism of the YouTube United States government with the state-run media Law&Crime, with Jesse on here, who just validated that she should have been torture cuffed.
And sadly, Leonard's body was recovered by the Meigs County EMS and Rescue Squad with the help of dive teams. His remains were transported to a regional medical examiner's office, escorted by members of multiple agencies, and the impact on his colleagues was apparent.
Hard time for us here. Forgive me.
And he's so broken up over the pig who died, who's been on the pig force for 2 months, so he didn't know the guy forever, but he was willing to lie, cheat, steal, and cover up his crimes. So he's gonna miss Jesse a lot. I feel zero empathy. When I see a pig crying, I think to myself, how else could we poke him? What else could we do to him to make him cry more?
Something we don't ever deal with here in Meigs County.
Oh, something we don't ever deal with is one of our pigs dying.
We're a small rural county.
We're a small rural county. We run roughshod over everybody.
We're not used to it.
We ain't used to pigs dying around here because officer safety's first and everything. I want the pigs watching this who monitor my channel. I want them to see how many people have zero empathy for a guy who put a woman in torture cuffs, sent a text to his wife and said, hey, I made my first arrest. At 35, it was his dream to be a pig. And his wife replies, oh, that's good. That's great, honey. And then he disappears off the radar with someone who's a drug addict. And then all of a sudden ends up in the river. I believe what Cope Doggy Dog said, that he pulled off on a dark road while she was in torture cuffs is what I believe. Put a 1 in the chat. Look at that, pigs. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We're in a war against you. The cops are the darkness, the terror in the night. When you drive down the street tonight, what do you have to worry about? The cops. Your arms go to a touchdown position. That's how your arms do it. Your arms go to a touchdown position. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go along with a copy of my driver. I'm a black man today named Denzel Washington. I had everything ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not gonna play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not gonna play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, you know what? I want to search your car. And you say, okay, sure, you can search my car. And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, you know what, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio.